Joining me now is the mayor of the township of Belleville, New Jersey, whose town had several drone sightings, Mayor Michael Melham. Mayor, thank you so much for your time on this. Before we talk about the president's actions, what is the latest on the situation there in Belleville? Are there still reports of these drone sightings?
Thank you for having me. So absolutely. I mean, all over New Jersey and even Long Island, I'm getting reports from videographers that are stationed right at the water there in Long Island, seeing them come over from what he says is New Jersey. Here in New Jersey, we're about 500 mayors strong. We are still waiting for answers because our residents are still gravely concerned over what's flying just over our homes.
Absolutely. And we know that the president wants action. For anyone who missed it, let's listen again to some of what he said. This is from the Oval Office on Monday.
I would like to find out what it is and tell the people.
And can you commit to some kind of...
In fact, I'd like to do that. Could we find out what that was, Susie? Okay? Yeah, why don't we find out immediately? I mean, I can't imagine it's an enemy or there would have been, people would have gotten blown up all over. Maybe they were testing things. I don't know why they wouldn't have said what it was. They had a lot of them flying over Bedminster, which is interesting, right?
All right, so we heard the president there saying, hey, can we get right on this, Susie? Mayor, what is your reaction to President Trump asking his White House chief of staff to immediately get to the bottom of these drone sightings?
It's absolutely welcome news. I mean, if we just back up a little bit, President Trump, even when he was President-elect Trump during his transition, he's been on the record now at least on 3 different occasions about these drones. The first time he did mention that our government knows and our president knows, and he wasn't sure why they weren't telling us. And if you understand how the transition works for president, our president-elect receives the same exact national intelligence briefing that our president does. So if it was a foreign adversary or something alien or extraterrestrial, I'm certain as president-elect he would have known. The fact that he doesn't seem to have that many details, and he was asked the second time about it, and that's when he said, well, I'm going to disclose it within my first or second day into office, tells me that if he's not briefed on it yet, it's probably not a matter of national security or certainly not an alien invasion or anything crazy like that. More than likely, this is going to be our government or experimental drones that are up in the sky. I'm still waiting for that disclosure. I do believe, and I take him at his word, I do believe that New Jersey mayors and all the residents here in New Jersey are going to get disclosure, and it's going to come soon.
All right, that's some good news there. And that's what I wanted to ask you, Mayor. I mean, based on, what residents there are saying, what your constituents are telling you, what do you think is going on in the skies?
I mean, it's tough. Every time I see a video, my opinion seems to change. I mean, I've recently been watching and spent some time with the videographer out of Long Island. I mean, he has orbs, these glowing orbs of light on camera that as you watch them right before your eyes, they seem to transform into a mechanical drone. So I've actually watched it myself where these orbs are glowing balls of light, different blinking lights all over the place. And as it gets closer to you, you actually see it transform into a drone. Whether it's a drone from the beginning and it's being obstructed by bright light, I can't tell you, but it is cause for concern. We have looked at flight tracker data. We don't see any airplanes in the skies. These things are absolutely some kind of phenomenon that's happening just over our homes. We need answers, and we need them quickly.
Yeah, and that's so important to note that, you are looking at flight tracker data and not seeing records of this. So, Mayor, are you confident that we will start to get some definitive answers, whatever those answers may be?
I believe we're going to get answers. Calls for speculation as to whether they're going to be definitive answers or not. Yeah. I do take the president at his word. I do think that we are going to get some kind of disclosure. I've listened to government speak. I've listened to our state, New Jersey, speak. I've listened to the federal government speak, and they've been very specific at times. They've said things like it's not our DOD, it's not our Homeland Security. And I've learned, in being in this business for a while, that when government speaks very specifically, listen to what they're not saying. So when they say it's not DOD and it's not Homeland Security, they're not saying it's not a private contractor. They're not saying a lot of different things there. So they're giving themselves some plausible deniability when they say things specifically like that. However, I'm still fairly sure that this is probably going to be our government assets, as the president said when he was president-elect, and even now. If it was a foreign adversary, I'm almost certain with $1 trillion military budget, we'd be able to take these things out of the sky. The fact they're not coming out of the sky and we keep seeing them, I truly believe that we will find out, whether it's sooner or later, that it is probably some kind of government asset.
All right. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.